Well, this is something that is rarely done. Attorney General Cuccinelli did it once. Attorney General Kilgore only did it once in his term. And in the last 4 years that I've been Attorney General, I've only done it once. The one time I did it was in the marriage equality cases. And I did it because I thought it was the right thing to do morally, I thought it was the right thing to do under the law, and it was the right thing to do for businesses too. It was the right thing to do morally because, you know, equality is one of those bedrock American values and a Virginia value. And it makes sure that we treat everyone equally and fairly. It's also the right thing to do under the law, and I reached the conclusion after a very thorough and independent legal review, and I concluded that if the Supreme Court took a look at our ban on marriage for same-sex couples, that it would strike the law down. And the Supreme Court had said for a long time the freedom to marry was a fundamental right. And for a couple of decades, the Supreme Court had looked very skeptically on state laws that discriminate against the LGBT community. And marriage equality was right at the intersection of those two. So I was very confident about the law, and the Supreme Court agreed with us, a conservative Supreme Court agreed with us. And you know, it's also was the right thing to do for businesses. If you think about it, the business community was very supportive of marriage equality because they have been in the forefront of equal treatment for employees. They know, the business community knows that it's important to make sure you have talent wherever it comes from, get the very best and skilled workers regardless of sexual orientation. And so in a lot of ways, the business community was really leading on this issue. And after we won the case, and actually while the case was going on, I heard from so many Virginians who told me how much it had meant to them to know that their Attorney General was standing up and fighting for them. I also heard from a lot of people in the business community and the business leaders tell me how glad they were that I took that step and helped brought Virginia into the fight for marriage equality. And I also thought it was important for Virginia in a landmark civil rights case to be on the right side of the law and on the right side of history. And if anyone has any doubt about whether that's good for business also, all we have to do is look at what's happening in North Carolina. When they tried to, and when they did, roll back anti-discrimination laws. And in Virginia, it is really important that we not go down that path, and this is something that is, you know, my opponent and I have very different positions on, and he would use the office to try to roll back marriage equality, and that's the wrong thing to do, and it's wrong for Virginia businesses. It's really important for Virginia to continue to be a state that is open and welcoming to everyone. That's an important ingredient in our good business climate. We want to be the kind of place that businesses want to come to, that people want to invest in, because they know that the workers and the employees are going to be welcomed here and they're going to be respected. And so this is something that I felt very strongly about, and the Supreme Court agreed with us. And I look forward to continuing to work with the business community to maintain that kind of business climate and legal framework where everyone is treated equally and fairly.